peer pressure, guilt tripping, shaming, name calling, overall just reading on the internet. The woke cult has failed to cancel Hogwarts Legacy. Try as they might to boycott this game, calling it mid, saying it was gonna suck, telling everybody who was supporting the game, you just put money into something that's not even gonna be good just to own the libs. Well, guess what? It's good! Ha ha ha! All right, I'm going to stop being so extra right now. Let's go ahead and dive into the video. So first, before I really go into more of the celebration element of what's going on here and how, we won this battle, I first just had to point this out. So somebody, which by the way, don't come for this guy or anybody affiliated with this, they've already got a whole lot on their plate policing the entire streaming community. We don't want to add more, they're busy. They got stuff to do. All right, so this tweet says, introducing have they streamed that wizardgame.com. Find out if anyone you follow on Twitch has streamed that new wizard game. So this is basically just a tool for people to try to cancel other people, grown adults in most cases, for what game they decide to stream, because this is where it's at with the woke cult. They want to control every facet of your life. There are plenty of pieces of entertainment I will not watch or play myself because for whatever reason, I don't feel right about it. But in no universe would I ever pressure other people or tell other people that they can't, or that I'm gonna not be friends with you, or that I'm gonna call you names and say you're this, that, or the other Isterphobe just because you played a game. It's just absurdity. It's pure Karen-ness. How Karen you gotta be to use this, let alone make it. Somebody went out of their way to make this. Actually went out of their way to make this. And then you had other tweets like this saying, you guys all bought a mid-game to dunk on the woke. Get owned. Okay? But then, as this person says, you people had mental breakdowns for months leading up to this and tried to get it pulled off store pages. You don't get to pull the we never really cared card now. Exactly. Because now that they lost, they're going to act like, oh, well, you can play what you want, though. Like, I just didn't, I don't think it's good, but, I never said that. They always backpedal every freaking time. Same with a certain mandate as well, that they always say, oh, but everybody did have a choice. What are you talking about? Completely ignore everything that they did with pressuring people, guilt tripping people, shaming people, just being outright just bullies, right? But they deny that. But here we go. So they just wanted to at first guilt trip people for playing it and say, oh, well, if you play it, then you're an Isterophobe or this, that, or the other. And since that didn't work, then their other strategy was, oh, well, this game looks mid, or this game's going to suck. Someone else who had me blocked made a tweet saying something, showing a screenshot and saying, this is a Destiny ripoff, you guys. This is going to be trash. You guys just wasted your money on trash. To which they had to turn off comments because people in the comments were like, looks great to me. But let's go ahead and look at the Metacritic score. It is sitting at an 85, right? 85. And y'all know how many journalistic outlets are so stupid woke. And they didn't want to do this. They didn't want to give it a good rating. They didn't want to give it a good review. And so that is very telling that this is sitting at an 85 when most journalists were probably looking for something negative to say about it, more so than what they do on average. They did not want this game to succeed, and yet here it sits at an 85 and probably deserves a lot higher. Look at this, 100, 100, 97, 95, 90, 90, 90, bunch of nines, okay? And then you get down here, you got 70, 70, 70, 60 from Games Radar. Expected, of course, that they would give it the lower rating because Games Radar is incredibly woke. But let's even look over here at IGN, who gave it a 9. And IGN is woke as heck. IGN is ridiculously woke. Of course, they had to make this little blurb here saying concerning J.K. Rowling. The elephant in the room with Hogwarts Legacy is Harry Potter's creator, J.K. Rowling, whose comments about transgender people in recent years have left a sour taste in the mouths of many current and former Potter fans, both at IGN and in the world at large. So they're already admitting here that IGN, disagreed with what she said. Ultimately, what they're saying here is that, because J.K. Rowling is very woke. We already know this. She's very liberal. She's very feminist. But because she wants female spaces to be safe and she doesn't want males invading female spaces, sports, bathrooms, etc., then they call her a transphobe and a bigot and this, that, or the other. So what IGN is effectively saying here is we don't support female safety. Okay? We don't support this sect of female safety. Okay? Let's be real with what's being said here. Read between the lines. That's what this says. If you don't support, and if you think that what J.K. Rowling said was terrible, then quite frankly, you don't support women. Period. Okay? You're not woken right, people. What's wrong with you? I ain't even woke. And I can tell you this. But here we are. Backwards clown world. This has driven some to call for boycott of the Wizarding World altogether, including Hogwarts Legacy, though Rowling was not directly involved. And there are good reasons, both in-game and out, to believe the developers at Avalanche don't necessarily share her views. Well, that's probably a mixed pot of people. Some share them and some don't, I imagine, which is how companies should effectively be ran. You shouldn't have hive minds, which this is big in the gaming industry because the gaming industry loves to have hive minds, and people who aren't a part of the approved narrative have to shut up or they will lose their jobs. I can't even tell you. I get emails from game developers who have given me codes to free stuff in the games that they help make because they're like, thank you so much for being a voice of reason because I can't use my voice or I'll get fired from this studio or that studio. These are big AAA studios, okay? And that's just where we're at. That is where we're at with the gaming industry right now. And it's absolutely insane. So anyway, regardless, IGN has always and will continue to champion human rights causes, blah, blah, blah. And then they say here, as critics, our job is to answer the question of whether or not we find Hogwarts Legacy to be fun to play and why, whether it's ethical to play, is a separate but still very important question. So just as in virtually all cases, we're choosing to expose and address the views of the franchise creators separately from our consideration of the work of hundreds of game developers, and evaluate Hogwarts Legacy as it stands, leaving behind the scenes context to be considered in addition to the evaluation rather than in place of it, so that it can be weighted according to your own views. Okay, so I mean, good for them for actually not letting that affect their review and for giving a good review. That's journalistic integrity, and that's important to be able to separate your views from the quality of product. So I will give them that, but of course they had to make this statement here because they didn't want to deal with the woke mob that for some reason they keep bending the knee to. If you just quit giving a crap, well, like picture something like IGN or any other outlet that just didn't give a crap and didn't pander to the woke mob. How much more seriously would people take them? Because I'm telling you, the woke mob does not represent the majority. They just don't, especially not real gamers, right? Real gamers who are putting all this money in it. Why is it that so many things that the woke mob supports doesn't sell well? And why is it the things that they boycott do sell well? It's because they're freaking broke and they're living in their mom's basements. They spent all this money on stupid degrees that are irrelevant, getting indoctrinated in college and with useless gender studies type degrees that will serve them absolutely no real skill or purpose. That's why. All right, so let's go ahead and just scroll down here so we can look at the summary because I ain't reading this whole review. But they gave it a 9 out of 10. Editor's Choice says amazing. In almost every way, Hogwarts Legacy is the Harry Potter RPG I've always wanted to play. So, yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine what kind of reviews this would have gotten if it wasn't for, the couple that really weighed it down a little bit because, and I know at the very least, Games Radar is super woke. So imagine if these journalists weren't absolute pansies and afraid of the woke mob, how much higher that score would have been. But at any rate, pretty heckin' good. Looks like money well spent. I have no regrets. I look forward to streaming this game as it drops, the deluxe edition, tomorrow. It will be the highlight of my week. So anyway, there you have it for this video. Another victory for Hogwarts Legacy. It looks like it's kicking some butt, and you love to see it because you also love to see the woke mob lose. It's just how it is. They ain't gonna bully us anymore, and we ain't gonna let them do it. And stuff like this is a step in the right direction to taking our power back from those vicious cry bullies who want to pretend like they are so virtuous. We know they're not. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time, and in the meantime, go boom.